What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another one. Today, got a good one for you. We're gonna build this slingshot. It's Wenge and Yellow Heart. Lots of shop footage, lots of important details on how to do it yourself. And then, we're gonna take it for a test drive and see how she hunts. Stay tuned all the way till the end. There's bunnies. We're back in the shop. You know what that means. Building a slingshot. Last night, I glued up 3/4 inch pieces of Wenge and sandwiched them in between 2 1/4 inch pieces of Yellow Heart. Glued it all together. Heavily clamped. And now, we're gonna put a template on it, trace it, and make some cuts on the bandsaw. Make us a slingshot. I like mine nicely rounded, as you've seen in the last dozen or so videos. So I'm gonna spend more time on the sander, but making a slingshot is not difficult. Alrighty, done tracing. To the bandsaw we go. Bandsaw time. There we are. I mean, I could hit this with a router right now and call it done. This corner's a little off. This corner's a little blunt. It's alright, I'm gonna end up rounding all this out anyway, so all that'll get taken care of on the sander. As you can see, the handle's not exactly symmetrical, but again, lots of wood to remove still, so I will see you at the sander. And so it begins. 100 grit. Well, hello there. Do you find yourself standing in an unheated shop in 20-degree weather, sanding slingshots for countless hours? I recommend audiobooks, preferably narrated by somebody with a catching British accent. What's up, everybody? It is the next morning, 9 a.m. The sun's still not all the way up yet. She's pretty. We have her sanded. The problem with sanding things so nice is they get slippery, man. Anyway, we got it sanded to, I think, 220 twice. I get it wet in between, raises up the grain, and then you sand it down again, and it fills these harder to fill grains. So that's my secret for that, is on the fine ones, I do a wet in between, and I do them twice. So now we put in band grooves. Band grooves. This is a round wood rasp. It's much more aggressive than a chainsaw file, but a chainsaw file will work, and they're much easier to find. I do this at the 220 stage for a couple of reasons. One, it gives you an idea of what it's going to look like. Make sure it's a keeper before you take the time to put in the band grooves. And two, you do a fair amount of rolling this around on your wood surface, and it leaves little scuff marks, so those will come out when we do our sanding with 320. So to measure these, I don't break out like anything official. I just try and go about, I know that that's an 1/8 inch around, so I try and go about half that depth in there. All the way around. Now we got band grooves. Groovy, eh? 220 again, just because I did some filing on these little edges here to level these up. So I'm gonna hit that with 220 again real quick, and then I'll do 320. I'll come back to you when we do super glue. All right, the supplies we need to make this super glue finish happen. You've seen this on other videos, but people keep asking me to do it, so here we go. Gloves. The kind that don't melt to your hands when you put super glue on them. That's pretty important. These are vinyl. We're gonna need super glue. I like Gorilla Glue, the blue stuff, not the gel. This stuff is just viscous enough to get a good coat, but not so gloopy that it gets everywhere. And a Slingshot. We apply super glue to one side. Doesn't matter if it's even or not, you are going to be the one rubbing this around. So, you get to be the paintbrush, right? Just apply a bunch of it to one side so that it doesn't drip all over. Some better light. There we go, you got an idea. You can see that the glue's all on one side. Now we just kind of rub. Spin and swirl and spin and swirl and spin and swirl and spin and swirl. Just try and get everything evenly coated, get down into the band grooves. And then you just kind of, once it gets a little bit sticky, you set it aside like so, let it dry. I like to kind of tilt it up against something. That way, if I do have to sand out spots where the glue pools a little bit, it's just 3 spots, like where the forks are touching on the table and where it's touching the wall. See you back in a few minutes after I hit this with a heat gun to speed the drying process. All right, there we are with super glue. I will sand this down again, just to knock out all the rough spots and make sure that, you know, we get rid of all this sheen. I want it down so the whole thing is flat, kind of gray. All right, we're back. You see how that's sanded kind of to that flat gray? And almost all the shine's taken out. That's what we're looking for. We're gonna knock all the shine off of it. And then we'll buff it a little bit, and then we'll spray paint it clear, and it'll come out looking like it's been dipped in glass. There we be. We'll let that dangle in the breeze and dry out for a bit while we're above freezing. And then we'll switch this over to this side. That way this band groove gets painted as well. And here we are. Got some beautiful grain. Finish is real nice. Real smooth. It's always nice when you can see yourself in it. Let's get her banded up. Put a few through it. I'm a fan of wrap and tuck. I've never had a Slingshot with clips on it, but this has an incredibly low possibility of mechanical failure. So I don't see any reason to change it. all that through. Clip that off. Clip that off and do the other side. I do my first wrap a little bit loose, and then I go real tight after that. And leaves it nice and clean. Sorry, leaves it nice and clean, and you get beautiful wrap and tuck out of it. Cool, eh? All right. Some of you might recognize this. If you follow my other videos, I've got one that looks very similar. That's this one. A little bit of a side-by-side. Right? They're pretty identical. This one's obviously got zebra wood instead of yellow heart. But they're both wenge, and they're both got the same kind of like 3 high spot design in the wood removal. Very similar to the same shape. This one's got a little bit longer forks. I think these are like a 1/4 inch longer than these, just because in the 8 months between the two, I've come to like a shorter fork a little bit. Yeah, about a 1/4 inch. Anyway, yeah, let's go shoot some stuff. All right, we got our chrono set up, feet per second. Just cause I have to shoot this one kneeling because that one's at a little bit lower angle. See what we can get out of this setup here. And that's at about, I don't know, 10 yards. 177, 178. 178. 178. Two, 3, 4. There we go. Let's do a little math and see what we can see if that'll hunt. All right, for this, I am using Pyramid air rifle velocity calculators. I got my scale out here to weigh 1 11mm steel. Call that 90. 90. 90 grains. All right, that's 3 in a row at 90. So weight in grains, 90. Velocity, we'll say 177. That gives me 6.26 foot-pounds of energy, and I'm confident that that will knock down a rabbit. Let's go see if we can do it. All right, yesterday evening after the kids went to sleep, I made a slingshot, started with a blank, went all the way through like 220 sanding. Woke up this morning, did the super glue finish, and put on the clear coat spray paint. This is what she looks like. Great shooting slingshot so far. I really want to take it hunting, but here's the deal. It's like 20 knot winds and freezing rain. It's like raining sideways. I'm hunkered down here in some relatively heavy trees trying to dodge it so that you can hear what it is I'm saying on camera. This is going to lead to a couple of different things. Like, the rabbits aren't going to be moving. Nothing wants to be out in this. So we might find them in like some dense thickets, or we might not find them at all. But if we do find them, they're going to be hunkered down and probably pretty easy targets. Let's see how it goes, eh? Okay, well, we're off to a promising start. This was the first shot that this slingshot had taken on game. It is right under the ear. This one was the third. I had one deflect off of a branch, so number 3 here, clipped him kind of at the base of the neck. But both one-hitter quitters, and good looking rabbits. Ought to be good eating rabbits. These are snowshoe hares. Again, this is Wenge and Yellow Heart. I just finished this up this morning. Started building it last night. And we got 2 in very quick succession. One was hunkered down, and the other one I spooked as I was coming up on the first one, and it ended up taking off and running around. And then I had to kind of follow it up a little bit, and I bumped it 3 or 4 times, but it only run, I don't know, 20 feet, 30 feet at a time. So I just kind of used the terrain and got close to it, and then put it right behind his ear, I think. Yeah, that one's right underneath the ear. So 2 rabbits down, and clean headshots on both of them with the new flip that you get to see me make in this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed making it. I really enjoyed making the video, and I'm gonna enjoy making and eating dinner. So have a good one. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe. My channel's stacking up. I appreciate everybody for all the support. I'm gonna keep doing my thing. Like, this is a big part of how we eat, so certainly doesn't hurt to film it. It's pretty fun. Have a good one. See you in the woods.